Hello, Kamlesh. This is Oscar, and this is my review of your running form. And this is posted as an unlisted on YouTube, so only you can see it, or if you send the link to someone, just so you know. So let's start to do this analysis, knowing that you do have pain here and here in the shin areas, and knowing that you have a cadence when you did your 5K before we started working together. You had a 145 steps per minute, and now, well, on your last run when we talked on Wednesday, the 19th of November, you had 158 in your cadence. Right, so let us look at this one. And this is when you're running the slow pace. And we'll first analyze this one, and then and on this one, in this module, we only talk as you talk about what you learned in the module about overstriding, and what we will talk about is the cadence. Cadence. We'll talk about landing, and we will talk about like stride length and overstriding, and also shin pain and knee pain. And please let me know if you have knee pain. And so you told me about this shin pain that you had on Friday, I think, when it was 2 days before the race. And it would have been, and you've had that pain for 2 weeks. So next time when you have pain, please let me know beforehand, like just like the same run. If you can just put in Strava every time you have pain somewhere, you put that in the Strava analysis or the post after the pain, so that I can know, so we can change in beforehand. Because I would have loved to known about this one like 2 weeks ago, because then we could have made some changes. But I also didn't say that. I said, just think about your race, don't think about this. Because when we try to change something just in front of a race or just before a race, it will might not be, we might be thinking about that too much, and we might run slower because we're like trying to change our form, and we're not used to that. So let's look at the landing here. What frame is it? And then great recording, by the way, in slow motion. So here is the landing. This is a heel strike. What we can do is we can measure this angle when, like, it's somewhere here. Yep. And you have like 25, maybe 26 degrees in your landing, which is a lot. I think it is, I don't think I've ever seen, well, 23 is a number that comes back for a lot of runners, but yeah, 26 is the highest ones, or above, among the highest ones I've ever seen, actually. And it doesn't necessarily have to be anything bad if we land on our heels. Some elite runners land on their heels when they're doing their easy and even marathon pace. So it doesn't necessarily have to be anything bad. But since you're reporting that you have shin pain, I can try to explain it by this thing here. So we have a bone here, the tibia, and then we have the fibula bone here, and then we have the patella here, and then it goes like this, something, and then we have the femur up here, and then we have a calcaneus bone that looks something like this, and then we have just a bunch of small bones here. So and then we have some muscles So we have gastrocnemius that looks something like this. And then we have the soleus that looks something like this. And then these two are attached in the around here in the Achilles tendon. And then we have a muscle here, the anterior tibialis muscle that goes down here. And then this one actually goes up here. And then we have the quadriceps here and the hamstrings here. So when we land here, it is important that we have high bounce in our soles, in our heels. Because the force, let's make the force blue. The force is going to go from here, and then it's going to go upwards through the bones here, well, through the calcaneus bone, and then through these two bones, and then the bone here. And that makes it so that we can get pain here in the lower back, we can get pain in the hip, we can get pain in the knees, or we can get pain in the heels, or we can get pain in the shins here. And you have pain in your shins. So two things we can do to well, there's plenty of things we can do to cope with this. One is to get a pair of shoes that is that has a high stack that has that will bounce you. No, sorry, not bounce you. What is it called? Just give me 1 second here. It will it will suppress. Well, dampen. No. It will make at least the impact lower if you have a thick heel. I don't know exactly the word. But you already have shoes like that. So if you were running barefoot on the heels on the asphalt, then that would be obviously something that would be make you have more of this pain. Another thing that you can do is you can change out the surface that you're running. I know in Dubai it can be tricky to find different surface to run at. There might be the track that is a little bit more bouncy, the one that's like I know there's one by just before Palm Jumeirah, but maybe that's far away from you. So that could be an option. Another thing that we could do is we could try to get the load to go, instead of going through the bones, we can get it to go through our muscles, because the bones, we can get harder bones, which is also one thing that, well, we will get harder bones when run, but it's easier and it's faster to get to increase our muscle strength and our resilience in the muscles for this. So the way that we do that is, instead of landing on our heel, we will land here. And if we land here, there's a tendon underneath the foot also. Here. The load will, instead of, well, not instead 100%, but mostly will go through here. Shoop, shoop, shoop. And then it will go through here. So we'll go through our muscles and tendons instead of going through our bones. And right now you have pain in the, so if we make this bigger, you have the tibia here, and then you have the anterior tibialis, the tibialis anterior muscle. And then if you take your finger and you press here that way, then you will have pain. So you have pain in between here where they attach. So if we look at so that's the first thing we can do. And when we have if you're reaching far out like this, like you're like, ooh, reaching far out, then it's easier to land on our heels. But if we instead decrease our stride length, then it could be easier for you to land somewhere more like this. That's like this. All right. So more on the middle of the foot. And if you were to extend your legs further, it'd be even harder for you to land on the midfoot. So it's harder to be like, ooh, land like this, because you're reaching so far out. Another thing that we can do is, as I explained in the video, imagine if we take steps that are like 5 meters long, we're like bouncing so hard, and then you're landing here on the heel, like you are here. Then we will get insane shin splints pain. But if our step is just, let's say it's 10 centimeters, super small, then we will probably not have as much pain. But if we move in the same distance or in the same speed, and if you jump 5 meters at a time and just 10 centimeters at a time, theoretically we could do that in the same speed. It just means that we have to like take very fast steps, which is called cadence. So the cadence times the stride length equals our speed. So if we want to decrease or increase our cadence, we have to decrease our stride length for us to have the same speed. So you're going from, let's say you're going from 158. If you were to go to 165, you'd have to, if you keep the same stride length, then the stride length is this measurement, the length of one step, then you'd run faster. So you need to decrease the stride length. And that will happen automatically if we just keep the tempo down. So what I want you to do is I want you to start a metronome. I see you have some nice shocks open run here. So you can put on a metronome on your phone of 165. And the reason why we don't go up higher is because we want to do it gradually. So you put it on 165, and then you jog in place before. So you just jog like this, like no moving forward, 0 stride length. So you do that for 1 minute, and then you do that in beat of the music or of the metronome. And it's easier to do this with only a metronome, and a metronome is something that goes like beep 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 beep, and it's easier to do that to a metronome than to music, because in the beginning, because the music can be a little bit it can shift, and that will if you increase that stride length, I believe it will make you have less pain in your shins. Another thing that could be the fault is or the problem, if we imagine here, this is from behind. So this is your legs from behind, and then we have the knees here, and then it goes down, and then we have the heels like this, something, and then the feet are over here, something like that. And what can happen is that when we run, we can get it can go inwards like this. When we run, that's called pronation, or it can go outwards like this, and this can also cause shin splints, because we are pulling the tendons in a weird way, in the muscles, because there's some muscles here, for example the posterior tibialis or the brevis muscle, and that can be pulled in a weird way. So we need to fix that if that's the case for you. And the way that we know that is if you record yourself when you're running from behind in the you put a phone here, and then you record like this part. of your running. And the best way to do that is at a gym. If you just ask someone to can you just record me in slow-mo for just a second, or like probably need 5 steps or something like that, or you can just put the phone on the side, but then you need to be able to see the landing. So that's one thing we can do. So we'll that's going to be a homework for you. And then we will look at this one when you run faster. So same thing here. Let's see if this changes anything. Whoop. So yeah, it's even more here. When you run faster, 33. And oh, actually, one thing I forgot to measure last time is we can measure the tibialis angle, which here is 7 degrees. And what we want to try to do is we want to land underneath our knee. We'd want to land underneath a bent knee. So if this is our knee, this is a pretty, actually, this knee is not, it is bent a little bit, but not a whole much. We could bend it more. So we want to land like this when we run. Whereas you're landing more exaggerated, you're landing more over there. And that is so that we don't slow us down, because now we have some forces. If we make this as a vector, then we can split it up, this one and this one. So you're constantly being pulled back as you run. All right, and then we can actually measure. Yeah, let's do that. Let's take let's skip that. And we want to go back to this one, and we want to see the tibia angle here. And last time it was 8 degrees, I believe. Let's see what it's like. I think it looks like more. Yeah. 16. So when you're running faster, then you have a better form than when you're running slower. But well, you're breaking yourself less when you're running faster, but you are landing more on the heels when you are running faster, so I don't know, I'm not sure if how to compare those two together, if you get more pain when you run faster or when you run slower. But let's take away both of them. So I want you also to, the reason why I said that you should jog on place is that when you do that, you're not going to land on your heels. You're going to land on the middle of the foot. And then after a minute, when you've done that, you lean forward, you take your trunk and you lean it forward, and you don't bend at the waist, but you bend at the ankles instead. Then you will just continue with that running stride and not go over to the heel striking. That will be a great one for you. I'll send you a video I made about this also, so you can see it visualized. So those are the things that you can do. Oh, actually, let me share with you another thing. In the Skool community, I posted a video a couple weeks back, shin splints here, and I said that you can do these 2 exercises. And then I think you said that you had a resistance band. Get it the right tension, and then we do this. And here we want to always have the toe. Yeah, so you can look through this one, and then we do it on the other one as well.
That's gonna trade the opposite side.
So that's a good thing, and also doing calf raises will be a good thing for you to strengthen up your calves, because when you start to run in this new way, then you'll get more pain, where you get more sore calves. So we have to strengthen them up. So I will make a list for you, so you don't have to remember everything I said. And then also there's something called, well, you can use ice when you come home, and you can put ice on it. That's obviously not going to be a lasting difference. So let's try to do these things first, because these were many things. And then if it doesn't work, we'll try with the ice and with the foam rolling and with the pressing also. So right, Kamlesh, I hope we can figure this out so that you can continue on running and beating your records, because this is an important thing. If we don't figure this out, it will not go away and you won't be able to run. So let's figure it out.